the 911 call came in and she said, help, he's hurting me, and then he's threatening to kill me and himself with a knife. So with verbal stalking, the physical breaking into, because they say he broke into her apartment, and while she was on the phone with 911. Think about that. He was making good money. He was on his way to having a fantastic career. And then boom, here he is now.
Podcast twins, here we are on location, just the way Vince likes it.
I love y'all know I love when we go on location, so this is great. Sometimes we got to get out of the cave just to kind of let things happen a bit, but I tell you what, man, we're having a good time already today. We have such an amazing, blazing hot topic that we must cover. I said right now we can't wait. We got to do it. So I broke out my special shirt for the coach. From Michigan, that he should spread cheeks, not hate. I think he did that already. Except the hate part, it might have been self-inflicted. So for all those that don't know what I'm talking about, we're referring to the University of Michigan head football coach who has suddenly been fired. Not that it just happened, but they just decided to bring it to attention and release this man from his deal. And then the very next day, he got arrested. Now, you would think that if a man is going to get fired and arrested, that should have happened the moment the incident happened, right? But no. We're going to wait until after we get all of our recruits signed on National Signing Day and commit to come to the University of Michigan. And then we'll go ahead and let this information out, because it was just bad timing and bad optics for the university.
Sounds very political.
I am very, yes. Political.
Well, I mean, obviously you care about this and you're amped up about it, because you didn't even tell them to subscribe.
Yeah.
You skipped right over.
I skipped right over, bro.
Like, that's the first time in Podcast Twins history.
Yeah.
Since we actually started formalizing this thing, that you've not told them. So I'll do it for you. Vince wants you to subscribe. He wants you to comment. He wants you to stop calling him and texting him. You can still do that too, but put it in the comments.
Yes.
Because it helps our algorithm. Now that I did your job for you, go back to your passion about this Michigan situation.
It's mind-boggling, Drew. I mean, look, sometimes I get amped up when it comes down to situations that they stink, and it smells like the garbage is out there. But look,
But you love watching the circus.
You already know I do, because that's what keeps me going. But I will say this. This man, Coach Moore, was a part of the national championship team, which Jim Harbaugh was the head coach of. And then when Harbaugh was out for the last few games of that season, this man stepped in there and took that great team on, and they won the national championship. And as Harbaugh moved on to the NFL, it was in his contract that they would offer Sherrone Moore this the head coaching position. And he accepted it, and he went crazy, and everybody loved him. The players loved him. The organization seemed to love him. But it also seemed like some of the staffers loved him, because that's what he got fired for. Allegedly having...
here we go with allegedly.
Having an inappropriate affair with a staffer on that organization, that became his executive assistant. And for those that don't know what that means, that meant that this person spent the most time with him, more than any other staffer in the office, because she's like his personal secretary. So, but, as this thing began to grow, now, true enough, again, for those that want to be like, oh, yes, he did. He had a wife and he had 3 kids, and one was recently born, 3 daughters. But this man was the first black head coach at the University of Michigan, handpicked by Harbaugh. And everybody knows that once you get a head coaching job at the University of Michigan, if you want to go to the NFL, your track is already laid out for you. So he had the world at his fingertips. So you would ask, man, why would this man risk it all? And I say it's quite a simple answer, Drew. You know what that answer is for me? She catered to his ego. That's right. Mm-hmm. This man was the head coach, working long hours, 12, 15, 16 hours like most head coaches do. 18 hours. Sometimes they sleep at the office.
So,
and she showed a lot of dedication to him. And then, one time you heard that same compliment 3-4 times, but that fifth time it sounded different. You're like, what did you say? Yeah, that's a nice shirt you're wearing, Coach.
well,
it make you look slim.
I think you skipped over a piece, though.
I'm sorry.
Because you kind of sound like you're assuming they did it when you say that. And you already said allegedly. So, now
I was saying the relationship was inappropriate, allegedly.
Well, if they had a relationship.
Oh, they had a relationship.
Just be an accusation, correct?
Well, no, because in the report that they stated that the relationship months and months and months ago resulted in a pregnancy, which then resulted in an abortion. It takes that to not be alleged to make those things happen. So as long as those things did happen, then none of this is alleged.
Right, but that part of it's an employment law situation, right?
Well, that's what
that's not what he got arrested for.
But that's what they got fired for. We didn't get to the arrested part.
Okay, fair enough. I just want to clarify.
Yeah, that's why they arrested. I mean, that's why they fired him, because it violated the university's policy.
And the timing seems fishy.
Oh, the timing is 100% fishy because they waited until after the National Signing Day took off. They waited till they had their guys locked in, committed to going to Michigan. Then was like, all right, let's go ahead and drop this bomb. This had been happening. So, and what is this part that got him arrested? Let's delve into that. We're going to delve. We're going to delve. Mm-hmm. So this man, obviously something had gone awry. And he must have been feeling some kind of way, whatever it is that caused him to be upset. Reports have it that he went to the young lady's house who had been accusing him of stalking her in the process, because I'm assuming after the aborted situation happened, she continued to work for him, but her salary miraculously doubled. It's a miracle.
Just another coincidence.
It's just a miracle. It's miraculously double. She stayed on. He thought I'm assuming he assumed she'd be quiet, because nobody ever feels like their chick is the one that's going to blow him out the water. Nobody ever feels like that, because we're special, right? Anyway, the 911 call came in and she said, "Help! He's hurting me," and then he's threatening to kill me and himself with a knife. So with the verbal stalking, the physical breaking into, because they say he broke into her apartment, and while she was on the phone with 911.
This is like 15 hours after he got fired or something like that.
Wait a minute, hold on, whoa, no, man, no. This stuff happened weeks ago.
Oh shoot, okay.
This is not. I told you they just needed to wait until
after
signing day. So this happened so much so that they already had a list of who they was looking for the next head coach.
All right. We're the podcast twins. I'm Drew. That's Vince. Gold and silver aren't just history. They're security. That's why we partner with Miles Franklin.
And if you just call 952-929-7006 or email them at info@milesfranklin.com, tell them that the podcast twins sent you. You'll get preferred pricing and you'll get very well taken care of by them.
Real talk, real value, Miles Franklin.
But I got a few fun facts.
So they've been done firing this guy for months.
Yeah, let's just say weeks, if not months. Although I think it's been
months is probably about right.
And so some people will say, well, why would this man had it all? He was making a base salary of $510,000, as well as a $5.1 million additional compensation in 2025. Think about that. Your base salary is $500,000, but you have additional compensation of $5 million. That's amazing. So then he had a total salary of 6.1 this season, according to USA Today. It makes him the 40th ranked highest paid coach in football. But again, been brand new coach. That's not a bad deal. That's not a bad deal at all. So, he was making good money. He was on his way to having a fantastic career. And then, boom, here he is now. I got a couple more fun facts before I know you and your first cousin chat probably got along. Got a few questions for me.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm. So, if I may, Us Weekly and I purposely went to them because not only is it sports related, but it got a little of that dirty soap opera scandal thing to it. So Us Weekly put out this. The coach, 39 years old, terminated Wednesday after 2 seasons. Credible evidence that he engaged in an inappropriate relationship. Okay, there's your takes your alleged away.
You said alleged.
I did, but that's my shirt. Y'all know I love it. The University of Michigan claimed they have a zero policy on the subject matter, and that scared me. I saw the cord going, and I thought we was all in trouble.
We're all good.
Yeah.
We're all good.
So anyway, he's married with 3 daughters. We're just giving a little brief overview here. Shortly after his firing was announced, it revealed that he had been taken into police custody as a result of an assault investigation. It says here, the Michigan first investigated Moore and the staff member over the summer, but both denied having personal relationship. But a journalist reported Thursday in that whatever it is, I'm not going to read his paper. But then that changed when the staffer brought receipts to the Michigan administration on Wednesday morning, which the reporter said included text messages, emails, documents, and so on, laying out the details of their relationship and the conflicts thereof, end quote. And now you got Adam Scheffner, who's coming in saying that there have been lots of whispers and speculations about the various gossipy, salacious items. In the weeks leading up to Moore's firing, the university was able to find no evidence of wrongdoing. You know, because when you hear no evil, you see no evil, you speak no evil. They didn't want to see that guy being bad because they figured they could probably handle it. Now that's alleged.
Now that's alleged. All right.
That's alleged. Okay, now moving on real quick. He was taken into police custody shortly before the University of Michigan announced his firing, according to multiple sources. Pittsfield police responded to his address, investigating an alleged assault. A suspect on scene reported to be Moore was taken into custody, which was 4:45 that afternoon. According to records that I spent the night there, he spent overnight. Now, you know this got to be real because TMZ come on. This is an audio obtained by TMZ where the 911 tape revealed that a woman who called the police accused Coach Moore of attacking her. TMZ don't put out no garbage. If TMZ put it out, you can pretty much hang your hat on that. But she also accused the former coach of having stalked her for months. And so, yeah, there's just so much more dirt that comes along with this. I could read in more, but the bottom line is that, people in power, especially men in power, we have egos. And these egos can either push us or break us, AKA help us make bad decisions. And, here's the man that's making, had a chance to make $6 million this year, getting involved with a young woman at the time, which was making like $38,000 a year, all while he had a wife and kids at home. And again, that's a moral issue. And I'm never going to be one to hit nobody in the head about a moral issue. I promise you, because we all have choices to make. There's no mistakes. There's only good and bad choices. Obviously, this turned out to be a bad choice for him personally, but damn, that professional choice he made cost him $6 million and probably a shot at being a head coach again. I mean, look at the situation with Ray Rice, years ago, on video, caught beating his then girlfriend, now wife. He never played another down in the NFL, and he couldn't pay for a job anywhere in the NFL world. So,
but there's been coaches that have done stuff. I mean, Saban had a situation similar to this.
Did he?
And
did he?
And I mean,
Saban?
I don't know if it was an assistant, but it must have been a student.
You're not talking about Saban.
I think I'm going to be talking about Saban.
You're talking about the coach that had the student on the back of his motorcycle riding around campus? That's not Nick Saban.
No, I have to look it up now.
Okay.
But
I'm pretty sure Saban has never been caught up in that.
Short memories. And like they say in one vein, oh, no evidence of wrongdoing, and then all of a sudden there's evidence now.
Right.
So I know what you said, like, oh, if TMZ publishes it, then you can hang your hat on it, but I'm still skeptical of any and all news. That's not gonna go away.
Okay.
So there's some other stuff going on at University of Michigan with potential sanctions, and there's some other things going on behind the scenes that probably had some effect on this whole situation, if not an impactful amount of influence on the situation.
That has been the case forever because of isn't that why Harbaugh is no longer there?
Well, maybe it's to cover up more shit that we don't know about.
Okay.
I'm not saying. Look, I'm not defending.
No.
I'm not defending.
We're just having a discussion.
I don't know him. I've never met him. I have no skin in this game. He's not my friend. I root for Indiana, not Michigan, so it doesn't really matter because Michigan wasn't in it this year.
Okay.
So,
and that's what makes it worse.
And Indiana is. So,
boom.
So I could care less. Like, we don't have a real rivalry in football. We never have because we've never really been good at football before.
Yeah.
So, maybe Purdue, if you want to call that our rival school, but that's really not in football. That was more of a basketball.
That's like Pee Wee football. So let's not go there.
So that's just because we're trained to hate Purdue for whatever the reason is. We have to hate them. It's part of the,
I get
they
it.
don't give you a piece of paper.
It's like the Bears and Green Bay, the Bears and the Green Bay Packers. You're just born into hate.
But I look at it and go, what
spread
else?
cheeks, not hate.
And you didn't mention one thing either, which is because they fired him for cause.
Mm-hmm.
How many millions of dollars did he not get in a buyout for them getting rid of him? And it was probably 10 to 30 million or some ridiculous number.
Yeah.
And I saw something where the philosophy is on those situations where coaches are fired and bought out. That's because they would easily blow the whistle on how much of the, let's say gambling rings in Las Vegas has to do with certain plays. If you allegedly believe that there could be some sort of monetary influence with ESPN owning ESPN Bet and things like that. But, that's none of my business. Let's just smoke our cigars and drink our tea with our pinkies out.
I'm trying to go back and remember, but I know that one of the biggest ones that I recall was the head coach of the Boston Celtics, Ime, forget his name, even how to pronounce it. But I know he had an issue because he was dating the actress. He was married to the actress Nia Long. He got busted down with with a staffer. I'm trying to remember which coach it was that had the girl on the back of his motorcycle. I'm sure somebody's going to put that into the comments.
Was it the Gators coach?
I'm trying to get to that.
Remember.
But, I mean, these things are going to happen. And again, like I said, man, listen, when you're in that kind of environment and you have all these young girls that are enamored by your position, you're the head man. And the college campuses, they might as well be the president of the United States. They're more, they usually come with more power than the president of the university. So, it's an ego spot. It's an ego thing. And I can't even blame them, but at the same time, you got to make better choices. And I think even more so for this particular coach, being as though that here he is in 2024 getting named the head coach, still trailblazing, being the first black head coach at University of Michigan after 2024 years AD. Wow. I'm saying we're still breaking records, and I'm just saying, come on, dude, you got to have a little bit more discipline. You got to have, and look, and it's hard to have discipline when it's amazing and it's right in front of your face and it's right there. It's not that it was even much better. It was just that it was right there. Bobby Petrino, thank you, Eye in the Sky. Bobby Petrino had the girl riding around on the back of his motorcycle. Bobby Petrino was like 50 years old with some like 19-year-old chick on the back of his bike. It crashed. Duh. So listen,
that's not an ideal situation.
No, not ideal at all. You get so again, you had Bobby Petrino, you had and there's been several other coaches involved with staffers, anybody there, let alone students, all I'm saying to you is don't blow your whole career up in smoke for a piece of ass. I mean, it ain't worth it. Ain't never been worth it. But at the same time, it's up to you to make that decision. Because again, I'm not the moral police. I'm not here to pass judgment on you, but I am here to say, what the hell are you doing, blowing a $5.5, $6 million career opportunity of a lifetime for somebody that, no disrespect to her parents, but she was just average. She wasn't even all that hot. She was just an average girl. But again, average that's around you more that 4 turns into a 5 after convenience. Oh, she's sweet. Oh, she does this. She's a nice girl. That 5 turns into a 6.5, and next thing you know, you ain't got nothing to do the next half hour. You're like, whatever.
So with all that FU,
yes,
why wouldn't they just pay this girl to go away? Forget about doubling her salary. Here's $800,000. This never happened. Because, I mean, that's got to be happening all day, every day.
Quite frankly, I'm
surprised.
surprised.
The whole country.
Quite frankly, I'm surprised it didn't happen. I'm surprised that they didn't figure out a way to shut this up. The Sky says Tiger Woods and the Waffle House girls. Hey, listen, man. Listen.
Here we go.
Listen, I'm not going with there because I'm gonna tell you this. When Tiger Woods was banging the chicks from Perkins and the Waffle House, he was the #1 golfer in the world. His career went down. His career went down the tubes. Body started breaking down. Everything started hurting him. The moment y'all stopped him from banging the little restaurant chicks, man. Look, let that man do what he needed to do. He was the #1 golfer in the world. He was hitting shots that nobody could even dream of. Nobody could even think about. Because those little, the little something rocking in each town. I told you I'm not the moral police.
It's in a totally different direction than that one.
Well, it got sent to me from the eye in the sky, so I had to respond. But look, the little Waffle House people, they kept him fed and they kept him empty. And when he was empty, the club just swung free and easy, and Tiger was the best golfer in the entire world. Now, there was a whole bunch of 3s to 5s, maybe it might have been a 6 in there. But he just needed that activity. It just made him comfortable.
The Waffle House girls' fault?
No, they didn't bust him out. It was him crashing out. Something happened at the house, and the housekeeper turned wife, suddenly hit him with a 7-iron. Next thing you know, crashed the Escalade into a tree, fire hydrant situation or whatever, and things just didn't go. So he tried to get on the straight and narrow, and when he got on the straight and narrow, what happened?
No good golf.
No good golf. Body started breaking down. Surgery after surgery. Back, knee. Come on, man. If they'd have just let the man have his little Waffle House snacks, have his Perkins desserts, we'd still be having one of the baddest golfers in the world at 48 years old. That's just how I feel about it. Because I'm not the moral police.
That's true. You're not.
I'm not the moral police, man. I'm not here to say what's right and what's wrong. I'm here to say what makes sense and what don't make sense. Now, there's a lot of situations in the world where players have gotten away with a lot of stuff like that. But it hits different when it's the coach. It just hits different. You got coaches that's out here supposed to be, especially college coaches, because you're supposed to be the leader of men. You're supposed to be getting these guys, the guys that are preparing for the next level of your sport. You're supposed to be help guiding them because they're still 18 and 21-year-old kids.
Well, now it's like 18 to 30-year-old with the NIL. They're staying in there for 10 years.
Well, yeah, we went from one and done to now they begging for an extra year.
Extra 5 years.
And I don't blame them because some of them ain't going to the next level, but that's a whole different subject matter. But I still say that, but they're supposed to be leader of men, and you're supposed to be setting the example. And again, I'm not the moral police, but that's what they're expecting. Because again, as I was even coaching kids at the Pee Wee level from 5 years old all the way to 13 when they went to high school, I and especially all those years that I was single, they knew I had a rule. I didn't mess with nobody's mama I was coaching. Why? Because I did not need to have that crossed over, no matter how fine they was. And I had some some good looking women whose kids I was coaching, and I was just like, nope, I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't even entertain the thought because I wasn't going to get caught up in that scandal, even as low scale as it was. But I knew that those kids was looking up to me. So that was with my personal morals. I'm still not the moral police, but those were my personal morals.
I mean, I see what you're saying. I had that same thing when I was married the first time when I lived in Nevada. I was a firearms instructor, and I would equate it to being like a rock star.
Yes, sir.
You know, the women there that were in the classes did everything but throw their bras and panties up at the stage, basically. And you know, I stayed good as well, but there were a lot of people that had a hard time with it.
I mean, listen,
I understand
it's tough
what you're
because
saying.
again, especially being a man, your ego is easily boosted.
But it, you know, you said like, oh, you know, it's a $5 million decision. It was never a $5 million or anywhere close to it decision for me.
No.
So it's not only a money thing, like, you know, oh, they're making tons of money, don't screw it up.
I also followed it up and said what? It was a $5 million, $5.5, $6.1 million. But what was the bigger point I made from there?
I missed it. Tell me again.
Is that he had the job of a lifetime. You're the coach at the University of Michigan. Your next step is your choice.
Any NFL team you want.
Any NFL team you want. It's almost like it's in the contract. It's almost you get to pick and choose anything you want. Eye in the Sky sends a good thing there. He says, going forward, how does this man now walk into a parent's living room and tell these parents that I'm going to be a great role model for your son?
I mean, look, even if they came out,
credibility.
Even if they came out 2 months from now and said, you know what, the whole thing was a scandal. We paid this girl to take this guy down, and he sues them civilly and all this other. He still,
it's over.
He still can't do it.
Well,
I agree with that.
It's a very tough situation for him to go forward. You know, so we can even go back to when we're talking about moral clauses. We can even go back and remember the Miami Dolphins when the owner was offering to pay the head coach just not to try so hard so they can go ahead and get the number 1 draft pick. This man, and then so much so that as he was interviewing for other jobs, a former big time coach called him up and said, "Hey man, congratulations." He's like, "Congratulations on what? You got the job?" "No, man. Same first name, wrong guy." Way before the announcement was made. So I'm just saying these things this is behind the table deals all day long. When Flores was down here, the owner was like, "Hey man, just take this 100,000. Just don't try so hard. I tell you what, why don't you take this 100,000 and go over there and talk to that guy, even though he's under contract with another team, clearly tampering. But it's a good thing we over here we on the boat just chilling. Go ahead and have that." He had to make a moral decision and said, "Man, I could take this money, make the owner of my team happy, or I could basically become his hoe, and now he's my pimp. He can tell me, you know, I'm over a barrel because now I've done something wrong." He made the moral decision to not do it. And it cost him his job down here. And at that point, nobody wanted to hire him. But then Mike Tomlin, who was his good friend, and they did their own investigations, brought him on and became the defensive coordinator at the Pittsburgh Steelers, gave him another opportunity to get back out there. Not this particular season because the defense sucked because I had them on my fantasy team and they ain't done a damn thing all season. But prior years, the Pittsburgh has always had the top defense. And he was now being back in the consideration for head coaching again. It's going to take something like that to get Coach Moore an opportunity to coach again. He may have to bounce down to the high school level, win a couple state titles to earn that trust back. I don't know. I don't know what it would take.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where you go from there with this. I mean,
but
there's
then
nothing to really argue. Like,
but then do you go down to the high school level and you start banging Susie May, who's hanging out there at the town hall meetings? And
it's a good way to go back to jail.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, you know,
that makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense, but neither does it to run through your $40,000 personal assistant. She got nothing to lose, everything to gain. See, They need to go back and look at Deion Sanders when he was coaching at Jackson State, when he brought that girl, Brittany Reiner, I want to say her last name, in to talk to those players. This was the best thing that happened to those boys. This girl is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. She's a number 10 out of 10, period, point blank. But she walked in there and told them boys, look, you're a mark. The girls are looking for you. They're looking for you to be stupid. They're going to have your baby. The moment you want to run up in them raw, we'll take it. We're hoping to get pregnant because we know you're going to go to the league and we're trying to, get you locked in. She told them that, but the coach had the foresight to bring these people in. So now is the university going to have to start bringing in chicks to tell the coaches, hey, look, man, we think you guys are hot. You guys are this, that, and the other. Hey, how do you resist this? Hell, you thought the problem was the players. Now we got problems with the coaching staff. I'm just saying. And yet, we thought gambling was a problem in college.
Gambling is a problem, but that's not really a problem because we just don't do it because we don't know who's going to win before the game starts, like the people that make money gambling.
Well, yeah, but that's why they say the house always wins.
I wasn't able to make friends with any mobsters when I was in Vegas. I don't have the winners of this week's games. I'm sorry.
That really disappoints me.
I'm disappointed too.
It's the Dia Virtual. I expected you to bring me information back
I got
use.
I got who gots. I got nothing. Yeah, nothing.
We'll send for you and have to have a sit down. We're going to have a sit down. But
this is like the time they pulled me aside at Grand Oaks and I thought I was getting whacked. Go ahead, go on.
Oh no, I got a good one. Suck for luck. I got a better one. The NFL, since we're going to graduate we went from a state of what the hell to a state of what? The Colts just signed a 44-year-old grandfather, father of 10, grandfather of 2, I think, old Phillip Rivers, to sign and come back and play quarterback. You mean to tell me that if you're signed to their practice squad, you've been working out every week, they saved you, told you, man, look, we think you got a future with us. You've been working with us all damn year long. And then you open up your phone the next morning and find out that they done signed Phillip damn Rivers to come in and he's going to probably get some reps Sunday? At what point do you say either I suck or they don't like me? And Phillip Rivers was never what you would call athletic, but now he looked like he'd been sitting on the couch for 5 years because he has. He's been retired. And the sucky part,
is he being punished for something?
No, man, he wanted to do it. But the worst part is he had a Hall of Fame type career. Now, we don't know if he was going to be a first ballot type Hall of Famer, but he put up some high quality numbers playing, I think, 17 years he played. And the moment he signed his contract, and I think it is a contract or he has to play, I'm not sure, one of those two, his Hall of Fame clock starts over. That means he got to wait 5 more years. He would have been eligible in January.
So what's the behind the scenes of why this has happened?
I don't know. I can only imagine that they claim that he knows the system. He can step right in because he retired with the Colts. His main career was with the Chargers, but he did retire with the Colts in that organization. So, but yeah, they had a bunch of injuries. They had Daniel Jones, who they named Indiana Jones, and he was doing but their prospects for quarterback was so bad that after Jones cracked his fibula, he had a broken bone in his leg. Broken bone. They taped him up and let him play so much that he overworked the opposite leg and snapped his Achilles. So he's done. You mean to tell me you had absolutely nothing, nowhere else to go to other than to call Phillip Rivers back, who couldn't move when he played? Now he's at least 30, 40 pounds. I don't know if y'all saw him, overweight, been sitting on the couch bouncing his grandbabies on the knee. And now he's ready to jump back out there and play NFL. Now, look, the man got Hall of Fame skills, so I got no doubt he can still throw the ball. He's very intelligent, but my God, I just don't see the logic. I think it's a slap in the face to every quarterback that's out there unsigned that is still in great shape and in viable playing condition. Slap in the face.
So there's got to be something happening that would make this somewhat make sense.
I don't even know what we call it.
I don't know either because it doesn't make sense. It smells fishy like all the other stuff you're talking about.
The Eye in the Sky said that happened because the Vikings about being shut out by Seattle when the rookie third stringer got the starting nod. Hey man, listen, you drafted that rookie third stringer. You drafted him. You got to develop him. You got to get him ready to play out there. And those are good points. But my God, 44 off the couch? Come on, man. I wouldn't have done it just because my qualifications for Hall of Fame starting up next month, man. I would have been like, man, thank you. I appreciate it.
Does he owe the mob money or something?
All I know
come in there and throw interception after interception?
Shit, I'm
shave points or what's going on here?
I'm waiting for Marino to come back. That's what's gonna wind up happening down here. If this dude came back off the couch, then Dan Marino's got to be ripped and ready to come back.
I mean, you know what? Actually, at 50 or whatever he is,
he's 60 something.
At whatever he is now, he'd probably be better than any quarterback since him.
Yeah, well, that's
that
not,
we had. Anyway.
That's a low mountain to climb right there, man.
How about all of them combined?
Yeah, I think he can take 2 steps and be over that. You know, they all think they're Flacco. Let me tell you something. The difference is this, and I say the same thing about Flacco and Rodgers, the 2 oldest quarterbacks in the league. They never stopped. There's a thing about never stop playing. They're 40 and 41 years old, but they haven't been sitting on the couch for 5 years, gaining 40 pounds. Rodgers always stayed in good shape, and Flacco was just always a mute, you know, but he could throw the ball through a brick wall.
I mean, do we buy the narrative of, you know, he knows the system? That's what you're going with?
That's what they're sold. That's what they're trying to sell to people out there on, is that he knew the system. He could step in and play immediately if need be. Now, that's what they say. But I just don't think it, man. I think that football is just in shambles right now. And if I was an unsigned quarterback out here, I would be pissed. I would be pissed. It's disrespectful to me and my. I mean, you got. I'll go to my podcaster and say, Cam Newton's 36. We still watch him training and playing out there in the league. I mean, you know, he works out with college to professional level guys all the time, every day. He's still in phenomenal shape. I'm not saying he could come in there and run their system right away, but physically, my God, I'd feel much better having a Cam Newton at 260 pounds that his normal playing weight versus Phillip Rivers, who already walked around with cement shoes on.
Yeah, this does not sound at all right to me. I mean, this is not when Herschel Walker came in at 50 or whatever he was, and he was doing 1,500 push-ups and 2,000 sit-ups a day, and he decided he was going to fight in UFC.
Right.
This is not that.
No, not that at all. Again, you can respect that because, different sport. He didn't come back and try to be.
That guy's got to be a cyborg.
And he didn't come back and try to run. He didn't try to come back and be a running back. Yeah. He did not pad up and come back out there. He was always into martial arts. He always trained like an absolute animal. And even when he went on that horrific political run, he looked great doing it. He just sounded dun dun dun.
I think anybody that goes on a political run sounds like that. You might as well have Charlie Brown's mom.
Oh God, you
know when you can tell somebody running for politics is lying?
No.
Their lips are moving.
Their lips are moving and the sound coming out, man. I'm trying to tell you, it's just horrible. But you know, listen, man. Coach Moore, look at me, man. Look at me.
Oh boy.
I feel for you, brother. I do. I feel for you. I mean, I was excited for you when you got the opportunity. I know they got. I think it was sign stealing that you was getting ready to sit out a suspension for anyway. Um, but hey, look, I even understand that because if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I understand, but that usually applies on the field. The staffer, bro, I get it. Low hanging fruit. It's easy. Take a bite. You figure ain't nobody gonna ever say nothing. I get it because it worked the first few times. Come on, man. It ain't gonna work always. But look, man, I hope the best for you. I hope you get another opportunity if that's what you want to do. I hope you fix the home situation. I hope you fix your personal situation because the stories state that you wanted to hurt yourself and harm others. Let's get that fixed up first. Then let the football take care of itself, man. Hey, man, I hope the best for you, brother. I really do. But come on, man. Good and bad decisions. That's what we make. You made a couple bad ones, you got to pay for it, brother. But hey, I feel you. Senator Tharp made a very bad decision himself. It cost him $30 million. $30 million. The difference is his career was done. He was already elected to the Hall of Fame, and he had the $30 million to give.
And a very popular show.
Two of them.
Two very popular shows.
Yeah, so, and he was on ESPN, he was on NBC, and he's still out there. But look, man, I just say, brother, just good luck to you, man. I really hope that you bounce back from this personally, then professionally. Hopefully your family situation works out.
Whatever Vince says.
Okay, we got some more eye in the sky.
Oh, here we go.
Eye in the sky said he gave you another little tidbit. It says if because if you could start thinking with the head up top.
Oh, jeez.
Versus the other heads in other regions. It'll help us to do it. But again, that's all ego stuff. Matter of fact, I tell you what you do, Coach. Come on down here in the spring of next year and attend the Man Up Conference. It's really going to help you kind of stay focused and get you where you need to be. Get you back on track, man. Get your feet back up underneath you where you can get back out there and stand on your principles and come out there and be exactly who you want to be.
And be a guest on Podcast Twins.
Hey, come on, talk to me, man. Tell me how you feel. Come tell me your story.
There you go.
I'll be your Oprah. I'll be your Oprah. You can come give me the story, man. I get it, man. But listen, I really hope the best for the young man, man.
Vince Oprah Bell over here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You get a car. You get a car. You get a car.
I like a car.
Yeah, well, she didn't tell him about them taxes they had to pay her that $7,000 each, but that's a whole nother subject. But listen, man, I just the state of sports is it's bad, man. But I'm just
it's been bad for a long time.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's be honest. And it was this way in Hollywood and life and everything. Side chicks used to be great. But today, everybody wants to be a star.
Why do I have make side chicks great again in my head?
Yeah, side chicks used to be great, man. They used to play their position and be happy with it. Now,
let me ask you this.
Everybody want to be a star.
I got one more for you before we sign off. At what point do you, Vince Bell, and other sports fans like you and Curfton that are more into it than I am, at what point do you guys get disenfranchised and say, this is all bullshit? Is it the gambling? Is it the scandals? Is it the wife beating? Is it all the other bullshit? Like, what would turn you off to the point where you're like, I'll go find something better to do with my time than watch this game today or go to this game today?
Okay.
What would be the snapping point for you?
I'll analogy you.
Oh, analogize.
So what I would say to you is sports is what these guys do, right?
Yeah.
And I've told the audience a million times.
That's not your hero just because they can catch a football or throw a
That's what they do for a living. They're still human beings. They're going to make mistakes. I made the same argument about pastors, right? Just because their job is to read and interpret a book and give it to you does not make them holier than thou. I think that us as society have to get to a point where we stop trying to make people superheroes when they're just doing their job.
Okay.
So as long as they can entertain me by doing their job, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it if they can just entertain me by doing their job. The problem I run into is when they do their job, and we know that they're already role models in these situations, and things like the wife beatings pop up and all this other kind of stuff, man. That's when it gets hard to handle. That's when it gets hard to manage. Um, but again, as far as when am I going to stop watching it, I don't watch it the way I used to. I can tell you that.
Okay.
And I think a lot of that had to do with me feeling like some of this stuff was fixed, but the same thing. I used to be a tremendous boxing fan.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment you're watching the guy get completely dominated in the ring and he completely gets, dry boned by the referee at the end of the fight, it turned me away from watching boxing.
Okay.
I don't dislike boxing. I just stopped watching it as much. It meant a little less to me. I feel the same way about sports right now, especially like football, the bigger money sports. I don't even watch it. I haven't seen an NBA game this season. I think it's just absolutely terrible.
I'm with you there.
Yeah, but football, I hang on to it because I still love to see the plays. I still love to see the athleticism. I like to see when things go right in that regard, but I don't hang on it every day. I'm not there every Thursday, Sunday, like I used to be. I'm just not. It's playoff time. I will be paying attention because, again, we do shows like this, and I also participate on other people's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I do need to be abreast of what's happening. But as far as having it mean something to me, it don't mean as much as it did.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I feel the same way. I just feel like it kind of means less and less to me each year. Like this year, I played fantasy football for the first time in like 13 or 14 years. And that was just so I had something to do for fun with my son. And I didn't even make the playoffs. I went 5-8 and missed the tiebreaker to make the playoffs, so I'm still a little sour on it. But
my team sucks, so I don't even want to discuss fantasy.
All right, we won't talk about that then. But,
okay, yeah.
But I looked at it and I'm like, okay, I got more into it than I had been in a long time. College, obviously, the last 2 years, Indiana's been good for the first time ever, even though Miami's only good for 2 months of the season, which is frustrating. But that's another story for a different tequila shot. Watch more college football, and I've stuck with college football for the most part. But the more crap that I got to deal with that's not sports related in any way, right? Like this Michigan coach getting fired for basically being a dumbass. Let's say he did what they said he did. It was a horrible idea. It was a bad decision.
It was a bad decision.
Whether you look at it from a moral standpoint or not, it was a bad business decision.
Yes.
Bad personal decision because you got your wife and kids there.
Woo! That's going to hurt.
So the more stuff that I hear, and I look at it like they're all politicians, right? They're all just there for the circus and bread. So, if I'm looking at it going, okay, well, like the politicians do all this dirty stuff and get away with it. These football guys and basketball guys and baseball guys do all this dirty stuff and get away with it.
Right.
Where do I draw the line and say, you know what, I can do other stuff for entertainment?
Well, again, as I said, I feel the same, and I had season tickets for the Hurricanes this year, the first time in a long, long time.
Yep.
And I attended that, but even when I left there, I didn't rush to the nearest bar to go watch the next game and all. Where before I would have vegged out the entire weekend on the couch and never moved. So these are things that I used to do that I don't. Now if the grandkids got something going on, I'm over there with them. If I'm home and I'm in my spare time, I'll watch the game. I've gone to bed at more halftimes this season than I ever have in my entire life. Like literally left the game at halftime. I would have never done that in the past. But I'm like, man, am I going to be tired tomorrow to watch this?
That I don't care as much as I used to.
I don't care as much as I used to, and that's what it is, man. So I still like getting the guys together and we watch some games and we hang out, that kind of stuff. I watch it at the firehouse.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you're a casual viewer, not a fanatic.
I'm still I guess you could say I was a fanatic.
Not as much of a fanatic.
Just not as much, But again, I still appreciate, the athleticism and to see the competition and I still enjoy it, and it's painful to me to know that these guys are just human and they could be susceptible to accept bribes just like anybody else.
So, do us a favor in the comments. Tell us what you think. Are you watching more sports? Are you watching less sports? Do you think the NBA sucks like we do? Do you think we're crazy like Kirkton thinks we're crazy because he still thinks the NBA is good even though the Knicks always suck? Sorry, Kirkton. Yeah, let us know what you think, and we'll catch you next week on another podcast, Twins.
Make sure you subscribe. Peace.